Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a mother, smack at it. Bye up, bye up. In a menudo style and direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and I'm very appreciative. So gracias. So I've been trying to record a video on this channel for the last few days. And for some reason, YouTube doesn't like it, man. I understand, man. So I put it under review, the video. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But we're not even going to speak on it until we'll see what happens, man, because I guess it's a touchy subject. Maybe I got reported. Maybe I got reported and I can't speak on the subject. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, man, I get asked a lot of questions, and some of them are ridiculous. Some of them are real. You know, and I try to answer the ones that I see that I should or I could. But in this case, I'm going to answer this question. It's kind of ridiculous, but someone asked me, hey, with Diddy locked up, bro, do you think he's going to join the Gbgz? Maybe he's the ringleader. Maybe he's already there, right? Look, Diddy didn't catch a case out of California. That's where the group Gbgz was formed, on the SNY yards in California. And it was formed by guys that had a common interest, you know, a Diddy interest. And they definitely try to stand their ground against oppressors or people that are against them. We'll just say that. Now, do you remember when Danny Masterson first got caught up? And Gbgz were kind of upset with him for whatever reason, right? But it never materialized. Nothing ever happened. I mean, the BBCs, these guys got crazy names. The Gbgz, the BBCs, the big black, whatever, right? Anyways, they got off on him. Or they tried, and he was moved from Corcoran State Prison to, of course, CMC East, I believe he's at, or CMC West. But at the same time, them guys are not in the feds, from what I know or what I've heard, right? And Diddy has a federal case, so he has to deal with what goes on in the feds. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I've been hearing a lot of different stories, and people are like, well, he could be innocent of this or innocent of that. He's definitely not innocent of having too many fucking bottles of baby oil. That's for sure, right? But one thing I can say about them Gbgz wanting to recruit someone like Diddy, he's a very high-profile character, man. You know, the character defines the man. But that doesn't necessarily mean, right, that he's going to join up with any group. I think Diddy is true to his pigmentation, true to his people. So he's going to be a brother, man, an independent brother, non-affiliated. And if he goes to the feds, which more than likely that's going to happen, and that's what it's looking like, you know, if all these alleged cases, if he gets found guilty of even one of them, you know, because he's got some major stuff. I seen a guy the other day talking about, he's probably going to get out. You know, they're going to find a way to finagle, maneuver. I don't think there's any maneuvering. Everything that's been happening, he's like on the decline. It's getting worse and worse, right? So to be totally honest with you, I don't know exactly what Diddy's future is. But one thing for sure is he's not going to join the Gbgz. Not saying that if he was in the state of California, he wouldn't. Right? Because he definitely, I will take for instance, if he was in the state of California, Diddy would be placed on an SNY yard, a sensitive needs yard, because he has sensitive needs. Because of his popularity, because of the natures of his cases, they will definitely put him on an SNY yard. And would he be approached by them guys? I mean, if he's really into it, he's diehard about the Meek Mills, then he probably would. You know, you don't know what a man's going to do until a man does it. I learned that a long time ago. But as far as the question, it was a valid question, had validity to it. This person is from a different state, had just kind of heard about the Gbgz, so didn't know if Diddy would be jumped into that. It's not and they jump in different from what I hear, right? But I don't know. He might enjoy to get jumped in over and over again to that group. But as far as him joining up with the group, no, when he gets to the feds, it's a federal case. Depending upon where he goes, he's going to have to deal with the situation there. Every situation is different. Every yard's different. If it's California prison, other states, federal, it's all different, man. Now, they, of course, will send him to a softer yard. They will send him to a yard more acclimated to the nature of his case and to what he is and what he does. You know, they have places that are softer because of the popularity of the person. And then there's some people that are popular. They're like that as super criminals, and they're placed in like Florence, Colorado, Supermax or whatever. You know, if someone asked me too, well, did he go to Florence, Colorado? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, if he requests or his lawyer requests on keep away status and he's scared to hit a main line, or to be around other people, then there's perhaps places that they could place him where he doesn't have too much interaction with people. But more than likely, when Diddy's convicted, if he's convicted, he'll go to a softer yard with people with the same type of seriousness or nature of crime that he has. And that's pretty much going to happen. Will he get into fights, arguments? Will people be waiting on him? I mean, there's definitely going to be people that feel some type of way. When you get to prison, period, there's people that feel some type of way, you know. But it's up to you to be a man and stand your ground. And you know, with Diddy, we don't know. This is something he's not accustomed to, I'm sure. He might be from that lifestyle on the streets. You know, he might have had people that were in that lifestyle around him. But as far as him knowing the ins and outs of prisons, he's going to learn. He's going to learn like R. Kelly did, like Cosby did, like so many others learned. That, you know, prison is what you make of it. And who you hang around with definitely, man, is going to be, can dictate the situations you find yourself involved in. But it was hilarious when the guy said, is he going to join the Gbgz, bro? I was like, shit, he might have made them up. You know, can nobody hold him down? Can nobody take... He's already, well, I mean, they might take it, but, you know, as far as, is he going to have problems and all that? I think he'll probably have about as many problems as anyone else would. You know, of course, if they sent him to like a Supermax prison or somewhere where there's hardcore criminals, man, yeah, he would be targeted. They would look at him some type of way, not only because of his charges, but because of his popularity. I mean, extortion's part of the game. There would be a lot of people on him. But I truly, honestly don't think he'll ever touch down or see something like that. I think they're going to find a soft yard to put him on, and he's going to run around and do what he does. Eventually, over time, he'll be acclimated to the program, and he'll just have to do his time. Now, another question they asked me is like, how long do you think he's going to get? Me, honestly, I couldn't tell you. You know, I haven't dealt with the feds. One thing I do know from homeboys that have, family members that have, when they got you, they get you. And then they get you, they got you. You're done. He's stuck. He's done dilly, right? He's going to do time, no matter what. Now, we all thought when Crip Mac got caught up on the gun case that he was going to do a long time. He ended up catching, 33 months? He wanted 55, but he got 33, right? Which is a blessing because they could have hit him with a career criminal. They could have hit him with all kinds of different things. So he got love, major love, right? Well, did he get that much love? I don't know. He has a lot more charges, a lot more serious charges. And being that he doesn't have a record, that's going to come into play. But still, the seriousness of this, it looks like they're going to try to make an example. And people that go out there and say, man, they don't do all that. They do. They do make examples of people. I can tell you a true story. I was in another state when I went to prison. And I got caught up. And nothing like Diddy, period, right? But I got caught up and for a robbery. And I remember thinking, this is just a slap on the wrist. This isn't nothing. I had just got out of the youth authority like a couple years back. So I didn't have an extensive criminal record. I did the youth authority stuff, but I didn't have an adult record per se. I was just locked up in jail here and there, you know, and nothing serious yet. So I'm thinking, man, I'm out of states, different rules, different whatever, man. I'm not tripping, slap on the wrist. Shit. The judge told me right to my face when I went to court, you guys are coming from California. You guys are ruining our communities. You guys are coming in here influencing gang members. You guys are doing this, doing that. I was like, who's you guys? It's just me, right? But he made an example. He says, I'm going to give you the max term. I'm going to give you this much time, which I had took a deal, but still, like he gave me every bit of that. I was thinking maybe some love or something, right? Well, no, this is what happened. This is what he said. I was going to take a deal, right? And he recanted my deal. He was like, no, like that deal's off the table. I was like, how's that work? The district attorney. And so I had to go back to the drawing board, man, and take some time and work something else out. But he wanted to give me a whole lot of time just because of the tattoos and I was from California. So basically, he made an example and he told me to my face, I'm going to make an example out of you. And I went to a board hearing, you know, years later after I got out. I was in California. I did time. And then I caught absconding, right? Which is I left the state without permission from my parole officer. And I told the story the other day. The lady in there, she was just shooting out love, man, sending people home, giving them time served. And she stretched me out for a year flat. She said, I'm going to make an example. It's your first time, so I want you to learn the first time rather than keep doing it like these other knuckleheads keep, going back and forth. And I was like, well, I'll go do it a gang of times if that's what it takes, right? But it didn't. So with Diddy, they're definitely going to make an example. And I can tell you just because of the character of the crime, the nature of him, and who he is. And now a lot of other questions are getting asked. Will he make it to trial? I don't know. I don't know, man. I know he was put in a certain watch spot where they're monitoring him. I don't know if he's still there. But I think as he sits down and he becomes acclimated to the program, prison, jail, it's just doing time. I think the boredom is what hurts the most. The continuous redundancy of the program. The same old thing every day. Every once in a while, a new person comes, shakes up the fucking compa for a minute, the building. But for the most part, man, he's going to witness things that he's never seen. He's going to be a part of things that he's never done. Or he's going to be a part of a lot of things he's done several times, right? But one thing he's going to be a part of is doing time. He's not going to escape these charges. He's not going to walk away with a slap on the wrist, a fine. We're talking about judges here that denied bail on this guy. They definitely think he's a menace to society and dangerous to the system. So they're going to keep him under lock and key until trial. And trial's going to take about a year. Because I heard that there's a Texas lawyer that actually has 50 clients that came forward with accusations on Diddy. So, man, it just keeps getting worse and worse for him. But as far as going back to the first question, will he join the Gbgz? Is he going to be part of that crew? And for those of you that don't know what the Gbgz is, I don't want to say too much because YouTube is kind of tripping right now. You got to do your homework and your research, but I'll just say it's a whole bunch of guys of like-mindedness that like to do things that Wes Watson does and stick things up there, right? So with that being said, I'm sure it's a group that if he was in California, he probably would be a part of, if everything they say is true. And after listening to that tape of him and Meek Mill, if that is them, yeah, he's right up their alley, or they're right up his, right? So it's just is what it is. But I don't think they have that group or gang in different states or in the feds. I could be wrong, but that is kind of a protective custody group, a group that was formed on the SNY yards, the sensitive need yards in California, the protective custody yards. And they were formed, and again, man, guys that were being oppressed came together and defended their integrity and their honor and their right to do what they do. Now, that doesn't mean everybody likes them or everyone participates with them. But, don't get it twisted. There's going to be hardcore guys from everywhere. I could tell you guys a story. We were in Frisco, and me and my primo, whopping, right? And what happened was him and his old lady, they were hungry, him and Sheila, and they wanted to go eat. So we were like, hey, we'll play a joke on him. We'll drop him off in the Castro district, right? He didn't know better. And we did, right? And this guy goes into like a little bar tavern thing to go eat. And it wasn't the type of bar that he was used to, right? Sheila was cool with it. She was all in her groove, right? But he went in there and he's calling me. Hey, primo, what happened? Right? I'm like, what happened? What is this? I said, I don't know, right? It's a bar. No, they're serving two steaks smothered in calzones, right? I was like, yeah, you don't like it? He was like, man, there's fucking guys doing strange shit, right? I was like, oh, you're there with a bunch of, you get stranger danger, right? So this dude, he's tripping out. So what happens is he comes out, he's hanging out in the front smoking a frau, and his old lady's in there chopping. She met some friends. Women love that shit. So she met some friends. She's in there fucking getting numbers and names. And he's out there, and someone figures because of the way he's posed out there, he's out there like, open, right? But his shit was a little like that, right? His wings were, and someone tried to get at him like, hey, what's up? Ooh. And my primo's all freaked out, right? I don't fucking fuck with outsiders, right? They're like, nah, what is that, right? He was like, I don't know, you want to go down there, right? That's cool, right? So he's tripping, and what do you call it? Me and my fucking other primos, right? Pepe wasn't with us. We're cruising. We're taking time. We're like, we're going to make him, and he's calling, blowing it up, right? Well, I guess a group of people are trying to get in this bar. It starts to get filled up, like people are on a line, right? It was like a club/bar thing. And he's out there, and some guys approach him, and they're like, hey, what's up? Or they start trying to pop at him, right? And my primo freaks out and takes a swing, right? For whatever reason. And he got hands put all over him. And things put all, you know what I mean? In him, right? So he got beat up. So by the time we came, we had to jump off the car. Hey, get off of him. No, I do. Right, they're tripping in. So we snatch him up, and he's like, what the fuck, you let me get beat up by them type of people, right? Sheila comes, get your ass out here, Sheila. She comes, and we jam, right? I say that to say this. You just never know, man. Motherfuckers hold it down for there. So the Gbgz are definitely reckless and will wreck your shit. You can't sleep on no man or with the man if that's not what you're into. But if you are, man, there you go, Diddy. No Diddy. But anyway, so as far as P. Diddy goes, man, I think wherever he goes, he'll be safe. I don't think, people, you automatically think these high profile guys go to prison and it's automatic, hey, are they going to get beat up? Hey, are they going to get rushed? Just as much as anyone else would. If he involves himself in the fucking shenanigans of prison, the drugs, the alcohol, the gambling, all that, yeah, well, definitely, man. That's a wreck waiting to happen. But if he just goes and sticks to his old program and does his thing, there are going to be people that kind of eyeball him and stuff. But there's going to be a lot more people in awe of him. And that's the truth. They're going to be like, oh, shit, that's Diddy. Hey, guess what? Diddy's on the building over here. That's how it is, man. You think, oh, man, they're out to get him. And there are going to be some groups that are. That's prison. Their whole mentality is they're on the apex predator type stuff. That's their mentality. But there are a lot of guys that do go in there with weird cases that just do their time. Not on the main lines. He won't be in a general population setting where people that feel some type of way. That can't happen. It won't happen. And I don't care who. And I've seen people, oh, these guys will protect him. These guys will protect him. It don't matter how many people protect him. See, it's shared yards in prison. And it's all about respect and being that you're on a shared yard. And when I say shared yard, I mean there's every different ethnicity, whites, blacks, browns. Being that you're on a yard like that and a guy has a case like that, it doesn't matter if you want to protect him and he's paying you to protect him. He has to pay everybody to function on that yard because these other guys are going to feel some type of way. And if you got the Wood brothers over here, they're not going to take, his money's no good to them. They don't care about that. They're going to feel how they feel. And if you got the Southsiders or the Northerners or whatever Mexicans are there, Texas, because he's going to the feds, they're also going to feel some type of way. And doesn't mean that there's a lot of the brothers that ain't going to feel some type of way too. They like Meek Mill music, right? So they're going to feel some type of way. But, so that's why he wouldn't be able to function on a yard. People say, well, as long as they protect him, why is it their business to protect him? And even if he's paying them, why not just take the money that he gives them and say, you're on your own now? Like I say, it doesn't work like people think it works. This is not a movie. This is real life. So he will have to go in there and fend for himself. And eventually, man, motherfuckers can't be around you at all times. You have to go to medical. You have to go visiting. You have to go here. And motherfuckers will get off on you, right? When visiting ends, they might not disrespect and get off on you in visiting. But when visiting ends, they definitely will make something happen, right? So there's different situations that Diddy can find himself in. Being a part of the Gbgz, like I said, that's a California thing. I don't think it's in New York. I don't think it's in the feds. So I don't think he's going to be a part of that. But there might be other groups that he might affiliate himself with. You just never know, man. With this whole Diddy situation that's up in the air right now, again, man, all these crimes are alleged. So you just don't know what he's going to be convicted of. But I don't believe truly that this man is not going to do less than 30, 40 years, And it's unfortunate for him, but he put himself in that type of situation. And in times like this, you don't think about the man who's accused, you think about the victims. And they're definitely come out of everywhere, man, with a lot to say. So this man's in trouble. This man's definitely in big trouble. And we'll see what happens. But I believe if he was in the state of California, that probably would be the group that he would probably kind of adjust to, just based on they have a lot of similarities from what I hear, right? Anyways, with that being said, I hope I answered that question, man. I got another video. It's under review right now. It's one that I know is anticipated. I've been trying to drop for 3-4 days now. I've recorded it 5 different times. They seem to not want to turn it green. If they don't turn it green later on, I'll just drop it anyways. It's an extra. And then, of course, go to the collective clips. I got a new super story today that's going to just tear the roof off the shit, right? It's funny as hell. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the wed their crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the support that I get. The Gun.